serving every last drop. If she wants to survive in this social circle, she better learn to fall in line.
This season, I'm coming for everything. I want it all.
What is going on, Skye Squad? We are back in the building, and you know I got my robe on. You know what I'm saying? In honor of Spa Night on last night's episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, which we are talking about today. We are recapping episode 3 of season I have no idea what. Okay. I still need for them to, somebody to update me. I feel like we got an update from somebody in the chatterization last week, but it feels like season 5. It feels like season 6. I don't know. All I know was I was watching. Okay. And if you hear, I guarantee you might have been watching too, or you want to know what's going on. Don't worry. We got the whole rundown for you in case you missed it. Don't worry. We're going to take it play by play. Now, first of all, I wanted to say a couple of things, you guys. First of all, thank you all for your comments and your love and support on my post. For those of you guys who missed my community post, I did pass the real estate exam. Finally, it has happened to me, baby. Finally. Lord, let me tell y'all something. I went through it this past month and a half. I learned a lot, okay? And I know real estate now, like the back of my hand, all right? As I should. Let me tell y'all what happened real quick, and I'm going to get into the review. So your boy, I told y'all at the beginning of this little journey in this over this past month and a half that I was going to pass this real estate exam by any means necessary, okay? It didn't matter. I was going to take it till I passed, all right? I think I spoke that into existence. So as you guys know, I took the real estate class and passed it last year. I think it was April 19th or 20th to the day, right? So I was scheduled to take the exam in June, and then I ended up getting the panorama, right? And so I kept pushing off retaking the exam after that because I had life events coming up, birthdays, trips, yada, yada, yada. And my friend passed, and it was just like, oh my God. So I was literally coming up on my 1-year expiration date from you to be able to take this exam. Otherwise, I would have to take the class again. And y'all know what? I was like, I cannot have run my mouth about Martell and this builder's license and not finish and take my exam and pass it. So I was like, we're going to pass this thing. So y'all know I took this thing 5 times. Okay. I took it 5 times. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The first time I was like, I completely underestimated what that real estate exam would be. All right. If you guys are interested in taking that, or if it's something that you're interested in, I suggest you guys go to prepagent.com. This is not a sponsored post or anything like that, but I'm going to tell you, taking their practice exams definitely helped me. They're like 10 or 12 practice exams. I took all of them by the time I was done, and I knew that thing. Okay. So anyway, just wanted to give y'all that good update, that good praise report. Thank you so much for your support as I made my way through it. Okay, so there's that. Now, let's get into the episode, all right? So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm trying to think what I would rate this episode. I'm going to give it a 9. I feel like I'm going to give it a solid 9.5 or a solid 9. I was entertained last night. It was a good episode to me. We got some things that, some people were being typical them. Marsau was Marsau in last night, of course. So much so that his son had to literally check him. Okay. Now, we also got some comedy for me. I know I laughed at the end of last night's episode. I don't know if you laughed. I guess it depends on who you like and who you don't like, as to whether or not you laugh. Being able to kind of sit back and look at it objectively, I thought this episode was good. Okay, it was good. So let's get into it. The episode is called Hasta Latisha, baby, because it was really centered around Latisha. So we continue on with the boxing gig from, Tisha and Kiki as they're trying to find some resolve to their issues. Was it just me, or did it feel like Kiki was all too interested or pressed to kind of just, it felt like she wanted to really kind of sweep through these issues and just kind of move on from them. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like Latisha was like, oh, no, 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 no. Well, we're going to talk about all the issues, okay? All the things that you done, we're going to talk about it, okay? You know, Keke feels like she was hurt because Latisha pulled away from her. And Latisha feels like, well, girl, you was in a bad place, so I needed to pull away from you. So we learned that there was some type of argumentation in the front yard of Latisha's where Keke said, F you and that baby that you carrying. Okay? I was like, well, Lord, I took and told y'all, this Latisha and Keke issue is so much bigger than what we are seeing on the screen. And I said it. I know I didn't say it. I said these issues extend well beyond what we saw at the Christmas party. Okay. These are really deep-seated issues that really need to be discussed. Okay. So, apparently that's why Latisha took her to rehab, because Keke was violent and unhappy. Okay. So apparently, I felt like Latisha said that Keke was taking pain medicine from the house or something. Is that what she said, or did I misinterpret that? Let me know in the chatterization down below if I misinterpreted that. But I thought that's what she said. So she couldn't trust her, right? Because Latisha had medicines from her C-section, so I'm assuming she needed pain. Okay, she did. Y'all say she did. Thank you. So I was like, oh my. Is that why they told Melody and Martell to watch out for this girl when she come to her house, because she might go through your cabinets? Was that the reason? Okay, connect the dots for me, because I feel like the dots are starting to be connected. All right. So, Keke wants to move forward. She apologizes for speaking on Latisha's marriage. Keke would rather forgive and, wants to move on and move forward and never have the conversation again. And Latisha is like, okay, girl, we'll see how you do. In the meantime, I'm going to invite you to a fun girls' night together. All right. And I wrote in my notes, Keke seems very happy to move forward, but Latisha seems a bit wary. Okay. Yes, Jam. It made so much sense to me now. I was like, oh, okay. Interesting. So anyway, Marsau has a conversation with his dad, who apparently lives in Michigan and had not been able to come down and see the restaurant since, the panorama. And we get this nice scene amongst, with Marsau and his dad as they do the cigars. I ain't never really been able to get into cigars like that because I don't really like the way they smell, to be honest with you. So, I mean, it just be like, how can y'all take that smell? It just don't smell good to me. Okay. It really don't. I think my grandpa used to have those cigars, and I just used to be like, man, you don't get on away from me with this. Anyway, but people like them. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, anyway, wait, is Black a cigar lounge? Maybe I can't go. I don't know. Can I sit at? Maybe I can sit at the bar if I ever go down there. I can sit at the bar. It didn't seem like the cigars was at the bar. I don't know. Anyway, so the gist of this conversation is basically Marsau's dad wants him to slow down a bit and really enjoy life. Like, you're working, you're accomplishing all these things, which, to be fair, I mean, Marsau to me is accomplishing a lot. Like, I mean, when I look at the show, it kind of serves as a little bit of motivation for me, because I'm seeing like all these things that these Black folks are doing, right? Who are our ages. And I'm like, dang, like, I mean, it kind of be making you feel like, I mean, what else can I do? You know what I'm saying? So I get what his dad is saying, because I also understand that whole idea of, oh, let me accomplish this next thing So I thought his dad gave him some really good advice, but Marsau doesn't feel like he's pushing the boundaries. He feels like he's just following his passions. And so it'll be interesting to see how these things play out. You know what I'm saying? Because they're intermingled with his idea that as a man, he needs to be the provider. You know what I'm saying? So you couple that with this continuous desire to continue accomplishing things and, but you're still driven by this need to provide for your family. That's very interesting to me. It's very interesting to me. And I love to see that we explore this on this show, especially from the lens of a Black man. All right. So Kimmi meets with Latisha at a coffee shop because Latisha ain't got no more office. Okay. So we find out that apparently Marsau then kicked Latisha out of her office, giving a new person her desk, and then allowed this new person to throw up his degrees, okay, when Latisha was not allowed to throw up her degrees. So help me understand, what was the reason why she couldn't put her degrees up on the wall? I don't understand that. If she owned 85% of the company, I'm putting my degree up wherever I want to, okay? My degree will follow me if I want it to, okay? I will drag my degree by a leash if I want. If I own 85% of the company, I will park my car inside the building if I want to. Why? Because I'm an owner. So you can't tell me that I'm not going to be able to throw my degree up on the wall and then you're going to oust me, okay, out of my own company office to bring in somebody else. No, he gonna have to work in the closet, okay? I don't care. He gonna have to work in the closet until you build me a new office. How about that? Or how about he work from home? Wherever, because go back to wherever he been. If I own 85% of the company, you are not gonna put me out. I don't care. I don't care. It's gonna be a mutiny that day because I ain't moving. You're gonna have to physically move me. You're gonna have to move me. Because I'm not moving. And you know what? If they put his degree up on that wall, my degree's going up too, right beside his. Okay. So that didn't make no sense to me. I don't understand it. I ain't like it. This woman then been displaced by her own husband. So anyway, Anthony says, yes, Marsau is busy, but is he making progress, not lawsuits? Well, I don't know. Is there some lawsuits or something? Am I missing something? Thank you for the super chat, Anthony. All right. Yeah, it's just like, you're not gonna kick me about the office, babe. You're not gonna do that. Sorry, but not sorry. You kick me out the office, I'm kicking you out the bedroom. How about that? You want to play? You want to play? You want to play? We can play. Okay? We can play. So anyway, for some reason, now Melody calls while they sitting at the coffee shop. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. Melody calls while they sitting at the coffee shop. Latisha actually wants to speak to her, but Kimmi is shocked. Okay. And Latisha invites her to a ladies' night event. And Mel agrees and says, just have Kimmi, send the information. But Mel wanted to know if Kimmi could get massages. So that's why she was calling her. So Kimmi says she's been getting better every day, yada, yada, yada. So I was confused. Did they end up combining the events, or was Mel offering to get her a massage? I was kind of confused how this all came together. Regardless, Melody will be at the girls' night. Kimmi is doing much better. There we go. She wants to be invited to the things. Toya says, every business has legal dealings. You will win some and lose some. That's all a part of having a business. A business. Thank you, Toya, for that super chat. Yeah, I was confused about are these combined events? I feel like I wish that could have been clarified for me. So anyway, Marsau is looking to have a quiet night at home with the kids or whatever, because he realized he's been working so hard. So, Marsau being Marsau says, kids, don't y'all miss Latisha cooking so much? But she cooking so much. I mean, she don't cook no more because she always working. Actually, she might be able to cook a little bit more if you ain't have her running around the city and displaced from her office. But anyway, one of the kids says, well, what about you, Dad? I mean, can't you put your hands to use and throw some things in the oven and cook us a meal or two? Can't you? And then, his son is like, I would never let my spouse talk to me like that, especially after 17 long years. I was like, burn. Okay. Like, it's so amazing to me that his son is able to see the misogyny in the way he treats and talks to Latisha. It'd be like, bro, this ain't the 60s. You ain't living in the age of Mad Men. Like, what? If you don't come up off of this thing right here, it's like that belief system to me is so antiquated. And sometimes it's shocking to me that, I mean, hopefully he be joking when he be saying some of these things. And I know sometimes he is, but then sometimes he ain't. So because you can't always tell whether or not he joking, I am like a black and white person, right? If you have something on your mind that you want to say, or if you're saying something in a way that you expect it to be funny, I'm just really going to take it how you said it, right? That's just me. That's how my brain works. It's a very linear type of fashion at some points. So it's either black or white for me. What did you say? What did you mean? Right? Did you say it? I mean, the things that he says to me, I don't have time to interpret as to whether or not you are joking or not. So you either say what you really mean or you don't say those things at all, in my opinion. But that's just me. And I'm so glad that the son had his mama's back. I mean, dang. Anyway, so they ended up talking about the roles of, what each person contributes in the marriage, like what the man's expectations are of himself and what the woman's expectations are. And basically, she's trying to figure out her role within the business. She didn't know that as 85% owner of Scope, that she wouldn't be included in the hiring and firing. And he says that the proper ownership of a corporation is that as the owner, she should not be in charge of the day-to-day operations. That's his job. So basically what he's telling her is play your role. She a better one than I am, because that dinner would have been over. The scene would have been done. I would have been out the door. You talking about eating some food for dinner? You wouldn't have no dinner for the next several weeks. Okay, how about that? The dinner would only be for the kids and me. How about that? So basically, she's just like, so you just want me to collect my check? This is what I would do. I would say, honestly, Latisha, focus on your realty. Focus on your real estate agent, your brokerage, because ultimately he is kind of clowning you for not making no money in this business. All right. Because as they go on to talk about it, she feels like he's basically telling her, well, I only deal in logic. And she's basically just asking him, like, think about how you would feel if somebody did that to you. And he tells her, well, no, she's like, think about how you would feel if somebody took away your desk and replaced you with somebody else. And he tells her, well, it's not a lot of commerce coming from that desk anyway, so why are you mad? See, that right there to me, that was uncalled for. That was really uncalled for. And I was mad because we went to commercial and I thought we was going to pick right back up from that scene, because I'm like, I know she's just not going to let him play her like that. I know she not. I mean, because what happened after that? After he said that, something happened. Something had to happen. In my mind, something had to happen. Whether I would have been getting up from that table, taking his plate away while he was still eating something. I don't know. I don't know. But the way he just basically kind of clowned her role in the company and talked about how, well, you ain't really bringing in no money anyway, so what does it matter? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Natasha says when Tisha and Marsau are talking at dinner, it looks like a bottle of Casa Azul is behind her. Could that be Giselle's missing bottle? They got it. Okay. They got it. Marsau got it on his way back from Africa. So anyway, we get to the spa, and this is the venue for Kimmi's celebration. So Kimmi and Stormy arrive. Stormy is wondering if Mel is coming and if the energy between them will be weird or not. And what do you know? Tiffany's here. So apparently, Tiffany has just expressed to Latisha that she has an issue with Keke throwing Latisha under the bus at Mel's Christmas party 2 years ago. Was it 2? I feel like it's been so long ago that we are still talking about this Christmas party. But anyway, so Tiffany got issues with Keke because of that. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in a minute. So Stormy comments that, oh my God, Latisha, you and Keke look so much alike. And Kiki's like, well, that's a compliment for Latisha. That's a compliment for Latisha. And I'm thinking to myself, Keke sure is full of herself tonight, baby. She is full of her. She is feeling herself tonight. And in my mind, I'm like, did she have a couple of shots on the way there or something like that? Because I felt like she had a whole lot of courage today. Okay. Not that I feel like Keke is like, I don't feel like she no punk or nothing like that typically. But I was just like, oh, girl, like you was doing a lot today. Okay. You're doing a lot tonight. All right. And so Tiffany is looking like, she ain't impressed. And we get a bit of Keke and Latisha's banter as they go back and forth. And I was like, Keke, if you're just kind of getting back into Latisha's good graces, I don't know if you really want to be going so hard with the jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you still on soggy ground. Okay. So you might want to just, ease your way back into things. You know what I'm saying? It's like you just came out of an argumentation with this woman and you think that it's cool for y'all to just banter back and forth like y'all used to do 20 years ago. No, sis, that's not how this works. Okay. You just getting back good. So you might want to come in, settle yourself down, and just kind of, chill for a second until you just chill for a second, boo. Cause I will show enough. You can show enough go. Okay. Jamila says Marsau is scared of Tisha finding her voice. Bloop. Okay. Thank you for that super chat. So anyway, Tiffany then puts a sock on her hand and asks if she put it on, would she be considered a puppet? Now, in my opinion, Tiffany came in with the agenda of I'm coming for Keke today. Okay. Today is Keke's day to be filleted, fried, and cut up and chopped on the side. Okay. So I was like, oh, the shade starts early. And so Latisha's like, yeah, I'm going to mail you your puppet. Okay. Because I'm going to make one of you too. And Tiffany says, well, if you act like a kid, you get puppets. And so Latisha straight up tells her, girl, you about to get kicked up out of this spa. Meanwhile, in her confessional, Kimmi's like, Tiffany be on that bullish. Okay. She always starting something with somebody. Okay. And she reveals that if Mel was there, she probably wouldn't have liked that because in that statement from the reunion, Latisha basically was calling, she made puppets of Melody and Keke. So it wasn't like the joke was just about Keke. It was also about Mel. So on cue, Mel walks in and they split the group into two groups of threes. Mel, Stormy, and Tiffany go to the sound bathroom. Latisha, Kimmi, and Kiki go to the massage room. So Tiffany is just so glad Melody came. And she reveals to Mel that she always felt like, I always felt like Kiki was your friend, And Tiffany only likes good people, And Melody tells her, well, Kiki is not a bad person. And she's like, are you referring to the Christmas party? So I felt like, to be very honest with you, I felt like Mel knew that Tiffany, being in this reality game for a little while, I felt like Mel kind of realized what Tiffany was doing. Like, I felt like Tiffany was trying to bait her into a conversation about Kiki. But here's the thing with that. If the allegations were that Melody and Kiki were both speaking about Latisha and her marriage, then Tiffany saying to Melody that she didn't think that Kiki was a good person for talking about her cousin, she's indirectly also talking about Mel as well. Or is it just, am I the only person that perceived it that way? Because it's kind of like you kind of trying to play me in my face a little bit too. Now, does Tiffany have a right to feel how she feels about Kiki? Absolutely. Absolutely. But that's Tiffany's problem with Kiki. If we're thinking about this in adult terms and not sock puppet terms. Am I right or am I wrong? That was just how, this is my interpretation of what's happening. And so Tiffany's like, well, I don't want to be around people who will do stuff like that to their family, because if you do it to them, you'll do it to me. Because you, Mel, like to be around positive people yourself. So are you saying to me that Kiki is positive? I was like, you are trying to set her up to say something. And I'm like, I don't think you recognize that Mel has been on this show for a long time and can probably understand what is happening right now. So Mel is like, no, what I'm saying is I'm enjoying. Wait, hold on. Let me get the light on me. Well, I'm saying that I'm enjoying the peace of the room, the pretty colors. Just taking in the aromatherapy thingy majig over there. The lights as they sparkle down on my skin. My hair is looking coiffed in this blue light special. I am saying that I'm enjoying the breeze. Don't you just feel good all on the inside? And Tiffany's looking like, it was Stormy though. Stormy was Stormy was like, and Tiffany's like, what is that? Is that deflection? Is that deflection? Yes, it was. But in my mind, I felt like, girl, it's clear. She is not going to give you, she said, I will give you absolutely nothing, Tiffany. I know exactly what you're doing, and I'm going to give you absolutely nothing. Now, from Stormy's perspective, Stormy's like, listen. Stormy was like, what is she said now instead of Mel telling her I don't want to talk about this, she gets to talking about Mel talking about the energy in the room. And Mel is like, as Tiffany's saying, are you deflecting? Mel is like, no, that's just an answer. Tiffany's like, well, you kind of brought us all together and I don't know her, but it worries me that she was disrespectful to her family, but it's none of my business. You are correct, lady. It is none of your business. It would be a different story if we could see on camera that Keke was actively seeming to pursue a friendship with Tiffany. But from my perspective, I ain't seen Tiffany on the camera enough to really see her and Keke in a scene together, to see Keke chasing up after her to try to develop some type of friendship. That's when I'm gonna be worried. You know what I'm saying? If it's me and I'm Tiffany, yes, you got a right to feel like, okay, I don't trust her, but at the end of the day, you ain't really even gotta like roll with her like that. You only with her tonight because of the girls' night. That's it. That's it. Steph says, like her or not, Tiffany wasn't wrong. The only people want Tiff to be quiet is Mel because she brought Keke to the circle. Well, actually, per my interview, it was Latisha who brought Keke to the circle. Okay. That's at least that's what Latisha said. So for me, I feel like the comment was addressed. Mel asked her, are you saying that she's not a good person? She's a good person. I felt like that was it. Do I feel like Tiffany had a right to feel how she feels? Yes, 100%. I totally agree with you on that. She does have a right to feel how she feels, but that's her problem with Keke. You can't make your problem with someone else my problem, right? So you got a problem with her, stand 10 toes down on it and be like, yo, I don't like what you did to her. I think that's what you do. But I don't need to go and recruit other people to try to like get them on my side to make them feel like, oh, what she did was bad. Because ultimately, she was at Melody's house. Why would Mel say she thought she was a bad person? I don't want Tiffany to be quiet. I just want her to say it to Keke. Okay? Say it to her. Say it to the person you got the issue with. So, me in the other room, Kimmi asked Keke about her and Latisha getting back on the right track. So Keke feels like they're trying and they have some sense of direction. And Kimmi feels like exactly how I feel. People can agree to disagree and just keep it there, right? But Keke says, well, Kimmi, speaking of which, I realized we weren't close, but I did feel like we at least had a relationship where we at least cared for one another. And Kimmy's like, what? So Keke was offended that Kimmi, instead of helping to patch up the problem with Keke and Latisha, went back and told Latisha all the dirt that Keke said about her at that Christmas party. And she feels like Kimmi instigated the problem. Kimmy's like, you don't think you instigated the problem? Because you was the one doing the talking? You was the one who showed up? So Latisha's like, whoa, why are you bringing this up again? And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, why are we talking about this again? So Keke says, well, because I hadn't had a chance to talk to Kimmi. So Latisha doesn't feel like, Kimmi instigated anything. From Kimmy's perspective, she wasn't the only person who had something to say about it. So everyone else was wrong, Keke. And Keke basically like, yeah, everybody else was wrong. So Latisha says, but why bring this up? So for Keke, she reveals that it came up because of what Stormy said. Apparently, nobody wants to talk about what Stormy said, according to Keke. So the flashback shows Stormy asking Kimmi if Kimmi thought that Marsau's post about the boys' trip way back about a year ago, okay, was really to deflect from him because you remember Maurice said he wasn't on the boys trip or something like that. And then Marsau posted the photo of all three of them on the boys trip in Atlanta. So Stormy is asking Kimmi if she thought that the post was to deflect. She says every time somebody talks about how Marsau is a cheater, she said everybody's always talking about how Marsau is allegedly a cheater, but nobody talks about Maurice. So logically, that was a deflection. Let me put this off on somebody else before it gets to me. That's kind of what we all thought about. I mean, I think at the time, like we were all kind of like, wait, Maurice, what? Like, but also we kind of also thought like, I mean, it does throw the scent off of Marsau. So I mean, I guess in my opinion, everybody thought that. So anyway, Kimmi asked Tisha, well, did I not tell you that Stormy said something? Latisha can't remember, to be honest with you. She just remember what Keke allegedly said. So apparently Kimmi says she did tell her Stormy had some stuff to say because she didn't know Stormy. And it seemed like Stormy had a lot to say about the situation for somebody who really didn't know them. So Mel, Tiffany, and Stormy overhear Stormy's name being called, and then they decide to go back into the other room and see what's going on. Stormy is like, I hear these girls talking about me behind my back, okay? So when she gets into the room, she's like, now tell me more about Stormy, okay? Now I'm right here. Talk to me like I'm here, okay? But we don't really get to that. Because before we get to that, Kiki's got to explain what's going on. And so she addresses Tiffany first. And she's basically like, I heard that you don't like the things that I was allegedly saying about Latisha back about a year ago, okay, at this Christmas party. So Tiffany says that she saw real hurt in Latisha, real tears. And for all the times that Keke has claimed being Mel's friend, she should have claimed being Tisha's cousin, period. And family should always come first. Now, see, this is a conversation that I would rather Tiffany have, okay? Address the person that you got the problem with, in my opinion, and let's do it head on. Let's get it popping. Let's go. Okay, now we getting into the things, right? Now we getting into the things. So Kiki's like, you don't even know what you're talking about. Talking about a situation that you were not a part of and a family that you are also not a part of, okay? And Stormy is trying to warn Tiffany not to get too worked up because, she's expecting, you know what I'm saying? So she shouldn't really, I mean, you don't want, an expecting woman to be, getting in her feelings out of pocket with somebody else, And so Tiffany's like, I always know what I'm talking about. And I'm like, do you? Do you? But I'm here for you today, okay? So Keke says that she never acted like she wasn't Latisha's cousin. And Tiffany, you weren't even there, okay? So for Tiffany, she says that it rubbed her the wrong way that she would throw Latisha under the bus because that's family and family comes first and friendships can come and go. So then Tiffany goes on about how she didn't grow up with a large family like they did. So I guess what she's saying to her is that family is more precious. But Keke is like, well, sis, you didn't grow up with a large family, so how could you understand? Okay. So, I mean, listen. Tiffany is back, expectant and activated. Okay. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't mad at it, to be honest with you. But I was waiting for Keke and Stormy to get into it because I thought that that's where we was going. We got derailed by this thing, but Tiffany did need to express to her how she felt about it since she was, in the other room feeling so passionately about it. And it's so funny to me that it's the new girls that's getting into it, okay? and the OGs are able to sit back, chill, and be zen. Okay. Well, except for Kimmi. Well, no. Latisha was about to get about it. When if she needed to with Tiffany, and then I felt like Kimmi always finds a way to put people in their place. Okay, and she could do it in the nicest of ways, but Kimmi gonna lay that smack down on you, whether you like it or not. Okay, Kimmi gonna lay that smack down. So I'm excited about seeing where this goes next week. I like that we're getting this energy from the new characters. And, Tiffany's not new, but I do feel like she's new-ish. And I felt like Tiffany took a back seat after her talking about Monster. And I felt like she probably felt like she had gotten in over her head, which she definitely did. And it was definitely wrong. So I felt like she took a back seat and put some of her antics to on the bike burner. And now in this new season, she came and she is ready to play. Okay. So for me, I welcome it because I feel like what I do like about my reality TV personalities is, one, have an opinion, okay? But also, two, be able to express that opinion to the people that you got the opinions about, okay? That's my thought. So, we're going to wait and see what happens next week. But that's our review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. We had no Martell in this episode. So, of course, no mentions of a Sheree. But Martell will be back next week for all of you guys who missed him on your television screens last night. All right. So, let's get it popping, Tiff. Let's get it popping. Welcome back. All right. We will catch you guys in the next video. So I'm Richie Skye, the author and publisher of The Wickedest Wives, Desiree's Desire, which is book 1 in a series. This book is about redemption. It's the story of a disgraced journalist who has lost everything. And now she has to rebuild her life brick by brick. And what better way to do that than to join a reality TV show? Why not? Now, not only are we talking reality TV, so there's going to be scandal, there's going to be a little bit of deception, backstabbing, a little romance, and why not throw in a sprinkle of murder to really round out the excitement? So I really want you guys to dive headfirst into these books. Desiree's Desire is just the first of many to come. So I'm super excited for you guys to read this, and I want to know exactly what you think. So be sure to follow, like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.